downtown Denver. What a great way to kick off the weekend. A little hardball at 20th and Blake. The Rockies welcome in the Brew Crew. The Milwaukee Brewers will be here tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday afternoon. It is quite warm at Coors Field, and it's even warmer up here at the Camarena Loft, one of the great places that you can dine a little bit, enjoy a cold beverage, which would be appropriate tonight, and also catch great action at Coors Field. Not a bad place in the house, and we're coming to you. I think this is about the fourth or fifth time we've been up at the Camarena Loft with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Oh, look at you,
man.
Well,
I thought we were going on a hunt today, but we're up in right field watching a baseball game.
Listen,
instead.
You got a lot more hair than I do. I'm borrowing that hat as soon as we're done with it.
I got to say, my buddies from Minnesota, DeKalb Seed Company, sent me the hat. I put it on for him.
There you go. Let's start with Carlos Gonzalez, get a quick update. He left the game after one at bat yesterday in the 5-3 loss to Miami. Quite honestly, his finger has been bothering him, even though he stayed out of the home run derby, which was a wise thing to do. It probably won't feel good till like November 20th this year.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, folks. You stub your toe, it's going to hurt. You put the shoes on, you're sitting watching TV, it doesn't hurt. And all of a sudden you go to walk, it hurts. And that's where he is right now. He's not swinging at full strength right now. So it's smart to be in, give it a couple of days rest, and hopefully something good will happen out of it.
Yeah, and hopefully he's back in there tomorrow. Again, it's going to linger, but he has been dealing with it for a while. Corey Dickerson, who was up with the club for a while, was brought back to the big leagues today. Drew Pomerantz has left bicep tendonitis. He was on the disabled list, so obviously we'll have a player move tomorrow because Pomerantz was scheduled to start. George has now placed the hat on my head, which is fine.
Well, I'm being nice because you said you needed the hat. I want it back.
You can't get the top of the dome burnt. As I said, you have more hair than I do. If you followed the Rockies, you know they have pitched very well lately. The problem in the month of July has been swinging the bats, and addressing that specific issue, Todd Helton and Michael Kadire.
It does happen. Just happened at a really bad time, and something we have to figure out in a hurry, or things are only going to get really bad. So there's got to be a sense of urgency. But we can't go out there and press. But you'd never thought that would happen at the timing that it happened in.
You go out and you just keep fighting. You keep trying to put together good at bats. I mean, like you said, if there was an easy answer, we would have done it a long time ago. And every team would do it if you could find that. If you could find that secret formula, you wish you could put a finger on it because you would fix it immediately. But you just got to go out there and continue to play.
Well, in listening to Helton and Kadire, two veterans who've had great careers, there is a fine line between a sense of urgency and pressing, and you got to work somewhere in between those margins.
Well, there's no question. You start trying to press, things are going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly quick, and I think that's why you just go back and let your natural ability. Your great hitters, your 300 hitters, a lot of your 280 hitters believe that and take those quality at bats. Don't go up with nobody on base trying to hit a grand slam. It isn't going to happen.
No. Well, we'll talk more about the Milwaukee Brewers when we come back as they come into town. They've had a lot going on the field, and as you know of late, off the field as well. Wonderful way to start. Tyler Chatwood on the hill. It'll be his 14th big league start in 11, or not big league start, but start this year. In 11 of his previous 13 starts this year, he's allowed 2 earned runs or less. So Chatwood, a good thing going for the Rockies. Back upstairs at the Camarena Loft with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. We talk right now about the Milwaukee Brewers. There's been some good in the midst of a lot of bad. Ryan Braun, you know his situation. So out of the lineup for the rest of the year, 40 home runs, 100 plus RBIs. Aramis Ramirez will be back. He has a knee injury. Last year he drove in 105. He's been out for a while. Corey Hart, a knee injury, won't play at all in 2013. Now in their stead, they've been led by Gene Segura at shortstop, and he's put up close to middle of the order numbers, George.
Huge numbers. You see the average at 313, an all-star, 126 hits, which leads the National League right now. And when I watched 2 shortstops and a player last year in the Texas League, I watched Taveras and Wong from the St. Louis Cardinals, and I watched Segura. And I thought he was better than both of those guys. And right now at the big league level, he's proven he's better than both guys. 2 top prospects in all of baseball.
You ought to be a scout. You're right on. Gene Segura is special. Carlos Gomez has been good as well. Rockies and Brewers. Come on, back to 20th and Blake with us. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By King Soopers, more value for the way you live. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Welcome back inside Coors Field. Rockies seeing the Milwaukee Brewers for the first time since the opening 3 ball games of the year. Oh, we're on camera. I didn't realize. Camarena Loft. Wave, George.
The hat looks good on you. Give it back at the end.
I will give it back to you when the sun goes down. But this is, where'd you say this hat's from again?
The Colm Seat Company out of Minneapolis.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, the Rockies took 2 of 3 against Ricky Weeks and Milwaukee Brewers to open the season, as the Rockies got off to a fast 13-4 start. Ricky Weeks will be the leadoff hitter. He has struggled this year, .214 batting average, and he'll be followed in Ron Renicke's lineup by the following 8 players, presented by Southwest.com. Norichika Aoki has had a very good year. Gene Segura will bat 3rd. We were just bragging on him. He can really run also. 30 stolen bases. Carlos Gomez was an all-star as well. 301, 16 home runs for Gomez. Logan Schaefer will follow. Then Martin Maldonado, Juan Francisco, the former Brave, Yuniesky Betancourt, and Willie Peralta. Here's tonight's Farmers Insurance game plan for that man, Tyler Chatwood.
How do you like that? Ball's on the ground. Happy took a little bit away from Duck Dynasty there, and that's where he's lived this year, is with the ball down on the ground. As I mentioned back in the pregame show, 13 double plays, tied with a couple of other guys for the 2nd most in the National League with 100 innings or less pitched.
And that pitch on the outside corner, a sinking fastball. And it's very quickly 0-1 on Ricky Weeks, who's just 2 for his last 32 at the plate. Ricky had a good June. Other than that, it's been a forgettable year offensively for the veteran second baseman. 0-2 the count. And you know Weeks' game. I mean, Ricky, when he runs into one, will hit it very far. He's one of those guys that leads off and typically will hit 20+ home runs. That one just missed. 1-2. Doug Eddings is our home plate umpire. Dana DeMuth at first, the crew chief, Corey Blazer, and Angel Hernandez. One, two, and now 2-2. Let's take a look at Chatwood's arsenal.
Going to live by the fastball for the majority of the time, nearly 93 miles an hour. The curveball right behind it, slider pretty equal with his curveball. As far as usage, he's starting to trust and believe in the changeup a little bit more, mostly against left-handers.
See you later. Hard fastball riding in on the hands at 93, and Weeks is gone to begin the ball game.
When guys are struggling, you can cheat with the fastball in. That's exactly what happened to Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. It's a good running fastball under the bat of Ricky Weeks.
Nori Aoki will step in. This guy always gets it in play. In fact, so far in 2013, the toughest man in the big leagues to strike out. At one point this year, he went 72 at bats without punching out, which is the longest for a Brewer in 15 years. And it's 2-0 on Aoki. Marco Scutero, the former Rockies, always on that list. Yadier Molina, last few years on that list. Benji was the same way. Benji Molina didn't strike out much. Bounces over the Rockies dugout. 2-1. Well, it's been 4 games now since Ryan Braun was suspended for the rest of 2013. The Brewers are 1-3, and they've hit just .227 in his absence. But it was not like he was having a banner year, battling a thumb injury, and that's base hit up the middle. Time for our Excel Energy look at the Rockies defense. Again, Cargo sitting this one out, so Charlie Blackmon is in left field. Dexter Fowler's in center, and Michael Kadire in right. Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Hilton, the infield defense. And behind the plate, Willeen Rosario. That again is brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more about Excel Energy. So here's Gene Segura. And as you could hear Doug Eddings say, ball inside.
Yeah, not by much either. This guy that typically will swing early in counts.
Aoki at first can run. He's got 21 bags. The Brewers, for the second straight year, leading baseball in stolen bases. In fact, the first 4 guys in their lineup all run very well. Segura is second in the league with 30 bags, behind Everett Cabrera, and then Carlos Gomez, in the absence of Aramis Ramirez, now hitting cleanup. He's got 22 stolen bases. You know, I wrote the wrong number down for Aoki. He can run. He doesn't have 21. He has 13 stolen bases.
Yeah, but he's tied with the National League for get thrown out too. He's been thrown out 10 times.
I asked Ron Renicky about Segura. I said, has he been a huge surprise? Is he better than you thought he was when you picked him up last year in the Zach Greinke deal? And he said, yes, absolutely. He said, we thought he was a pretty good player. Obviously, you gave up a heck of a pitcher, and you want to get a lot of good young talent in return. Well, this guy's even better than they thought.
The other guy that they got in the trade, Hellwig, is a big, tall right-hander, 6'9". had pitched very well in the Pacific Coast League for their AAA team, but when he came to the big leagues a couple of times has struggled with command, but he's a mid-90s thrower.
Two balls and a strike on a sun-splashed early evening at Coors Field. Good looking pitch. You know, George, it's great always being up here in the Camarena loft. And one of the wonderful parts about it is that we always talk about the beautiful view of the mountains that folks have in a good part of the ballpark. We can't see it live unless their camera shows a shot of it. But now up here in the loft, we can see it live.
Well, you know what? It's the best of both worlds, too, because you can also, good, nasty cutter away.
Segura's got
94 miles an hour. We also see the downtown skyline, which is awfully beautiful. Right behind home plate, and you look to the right, you can see everything out towards the mountains. It's wonderful. Well, the last pitch in the offering from Chatwood came in a very good location, down and away with some heat behind it. Threw the ball right by him. Look at that late movement on that fastball. And again, under the bat of Segura and a strikeout.
I'm telling you, his stuff's filthy, George. It's not an accident. He has a 2.48 ERA this deep into the season.
Well, he has everything to go with it. That's the key. He's got fastball, and then you tack onto the slider, curveball, changeup, which he's mentioned earlier, gaining a lot more confidence in.
And you know, maybe his greatest trait of all, he is a tough kid, man.
He's
a
tough
competitor. Rockies acquired him again for Chris Iannetta. Carlos Gomez at the plate. Big rangy center fielder with a big swing. He will strike out, but he also has the ability to hit it over the wall. He's done that 16 times this year. His career best is 19. What's probably the biggest surprise for Gomez offensively is his average at 301. In his career at 255 average. Former Met, former Minnesota Twin.
Oh, the dog is barking now. That was a good one. You run that sinker in there and you put it at 93 miles an hour with movement, biting on the inner half. You think you can get to it, and as soon as you get to it, it bites you right in the foot.
Well, that got him a little higher up, didn't it?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
I think that was in the shin area. Two and two.
You mentioned Gomez's overall numbers, the ability to hit the ball over the fence. Since the break, he's hit .421 with a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. So he's been hot all the way through it. You know, Doug writes us these wonderful notes, and after I get through reading it, I want to throw it away because we're going to use it again. And it's like you spanked his son or something. It just kind of looks like, well, you just threw my note in the trash. No, I read it. Then I threw it in the trash.
Don't throw it in the trash. Doug recycles everything.
He does recycle everything. You're right. That's right.
Which we all should do.
Yeah.
I love your hat.
I'm getting better at it, Doug.
2-2. And that's bounced foul down the third base line. 2 out to Oki at first, just underway at Coors Field with George Frazier and Mark Stout. I'm Drew Goodman on Root Sports weekend at Coors Field with the Brewers in town. The Rockies 3-4 on this homestand. I think it's fair to characterize that as a disappointing 3-4. Took 2 of 3 from Chicago, but dropped 3 of 4 to the Marlins. And actually, the Marlins came to town with the worst road record in baseball. And by virtue of their 3 wins in 4 days here at Coors Field, they now have a slightly better road record than the Milwaukee Brewers and Houston Astros. Houston also 16-30, matching Milwaukee for the worst road record in baseball. He struck out the side as Gomez goes down. A good start for Tyler Chatwood. See if the Rockies offense can come alive against Willie Peralta when we return. Take a look at the Rockies offensively. Up top again, Dexter Fowler batting .274, 11 home runs, 30 driven in. And Walt Weiss will have DJ LeMahieu to follow in the Southwest batting order. Troy Tulowitzki will slide up to the third spot in the absence of Cargo. Kadire will bat fourth, then Helt, Rosario, Blackman, Arenado, and Chatwin will lead with a couple of home runs, 7 ribbies in 8 ball games career-wise against the Milwaukee Brewers. And on the hill for Milwaukee, a guy who's on quite a run, Willie Peralta. His last 6 games, he has an .087 ERA.
Lowest major league ERA in July, Peralta 0.31. He's been fairly good out on the road, 3.98 earned run average. You'll see mostly a heavy sinking fastball. At 94.7 miles an hour. They followed it up by the slider. They've tried to develop the changeup a little bit more, but he's had so much success with the first 2 getting through innings that they don't really rely on that last changeup, but it will be coming.
The Rockies got after him in that opening series. And I'll tell you what, of late, he has been special. And it's strike 1 on Dexter.
What Rick Krantz has got him to do is to repeat his arm slot and stay behind the baseball and drive it. Don't be a thrower, be a pitcher, but be with velocity, and he's been able to do that.
Here's a look at Peralta's work month by month. He had a rough May, really rough May. June, so-so. July, lights out. Last 4, 29 1/3 innings. He's allowed 1 run.
And who does that remind you a little bit of is Juan Nicasio. Big, strong right-hander, throws hard. Rick Krantz done a nice job with this young man and further developing the mindset of pitching at this level.
And he just struck out Dexter without Fowler swinging the bat. That'll bring up DJ LeMahieu. Let's take a look at the Brewers gloves, brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Logan Schaefer's in left, Carlos Gomez in center, Aoki is in right field. Unieski, Betancourt, the former shortstops, in third. Segura and Weeks up the middle. Juan Francisco at first. And Maldonado is behind the plate. DJ's got good numbers against the Brewers also, 10 for 21 in his career. Rockies shut out yesterday for 8 innings. They scored 3 in the 9th. Unfortunately, it was not enough. They lost 5-3 to Miami. Despite a great outing again from Juan Nicasio. 7 shutout innings. Allowed just 2 hits. Struck out 9. Can't pitch much better than Juan did yesterday.
No, you can't. I wasn't at the park, but I listened to it, and just a shame that offense couldn't get something going till the 9th.
There's Nicasio sitting next to the Bean, Johnny Herrera. There was a 93-minute rain delay yesterday as well. Had Nicasio won the game, he would have won 3 straight starts for the first time in his career. There's that good slider of his. 1-2. Peralta the last 2 years, and he got to the big leagues last year. In fact, out of the bullpen, he made his major league debut against the Rockies. Rockies got 3 runs off him. But the last 2 years, he's been rated as the top prospect in the Brewers organization. And he went. Well, there have been 5 outs recorded in the game, all 5 by strikeout.
And a couple of punch outs that Gomez and now LeMahieu questioned without even asking.
Tulowitzki will step up. Troy was a pinch hitter in yesterday's game, 0 for 1, did not start. 7 for 25, a .280 average on the homestand, including a home run. And guys that have enjoyed playing against the Brew Crew at the top of the list, Troy Tulowitzki since 2008. Got our old friend Jeff Baker on that list now with the Texas Rangers.
Did he get back playing again? I know Pagan's out for the year. Chipper Jones is retired.
Yeah, Jeff got hurt.
I know he was going to go down, I think, last week and start a rehab. I'm not sure if he's back going full speed yet or not.
I'll tell you what, George, he was tearing up left-handed pitching.
That's what they needed, a right-handed bat to DH, play a little first.
95 on that heater. Peralta, you can see why with the stuff that he was rated so highly by Baseball America and others. 2-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on for Tulowitzki in the bottom of the first. Martin Maldonado calling for a heater. That is, you know, George, if you were putting on your scouting hat, I was kidding you about earlier, that's downhill playing right there, isn't it?
Downhill playing, heavy sink. So you look at the fastball velocity and you give it a 65, and then you add movement to it, it becomes a 70 really quick on a 2 to 8 scale.
Remains 2-2. There's only 2 Rockies that are hitting above 300 on this homestand. And tonight is game number 8 of the homestand. That would be Michael Kadire, who's 8 for 23 on the homestand. And DJ LeMahieu, who was hitting above 300. He came in right at 300, 6 for 20. He slipped below it, making an out a moment ago. Here's the 3-2. It's a sinker at 97. Peralta on Sunday pitched against the Marlins, 8 shutout innings. allowed just 2 hits.
By the way, Jeff Baker activated last Friday after 5 weeks on the disabled list. So he's back in the 25-man roster with the Texas Rangers.
And Betancourt foul ground makes the catch. Rockies go 1-2-3 in the first inning. Couple of punch outs as well for Peralta. Willie Peralta. Tonight's Sideline Report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And with that, we go downstairs and check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
Guys, I'm not downstairs. I'm kind of right over from you here in center
there
field.
you are.
It's another Fan Friday. It's a social media night. So tweet your questions at @RootSports_RM. This is my tweet from 12:30 today. It's now a little bit after 7. So let's step it up here and get some Rockies and baseball questions. At @RootSports_RM. We'll answer questions here tonight. Back to the loft.
Wait a minute. You
What?
tweeted out at 12:30?
I did, 12:30 this afternoon.
You should get out of bed earlier.
I was already up, and I had my breakfast like you, but I finally got around to my tweeting.
Ah, okay. Not like me.
Correct. You don't tweet.
No.
This is Logan Schaefer at the plate, and it's a 2-1 count on Schaefer. That catches the outside corner at the belt at 94. And 2 big arms tonight.
We've seen more 94, 95s tonight out of Chatwood than we have in a couple of previous starts. I mean, we've seen them, but not as consistent as this.
That's a nasty curveball. See you later, Logan Schaefer. 4 strikeouts for Chatwood.
Good hard slider. Throw it on the back foot. See if you can get him to chase, and he did. Good job by Willeen to step over and block the pitch and keep everything right out in good orders.
Martin Maldonado will come up. And he takes a strike. Maldonado won for his last 14 at the plate. He's the backup catcher to Jonathan Lucroy, who's one of the better two-way catchers in the game. Well received by Rosario at 95.
Pace and rhythm of the game, you've heard me talk about it. Chatwood's got it working pretty good right now. Whenever the hitters are starting to call timeout to get set up in time, the pitcher's got command of the game, the mind side of the game. .
Maldonado, a native of Puerto Rico, played for Puerto Rico, in fact, in the WBC. He was originally drafted in the 27th round by the Angels back in 2004. And he's got a slider. That is just filthy at 86. That's 5 punch-outs to begin the ball game from Tyler Chatwood.
And the nice part is 32 pitches thrown in the ball game. That's the nice part. Normally when you strike out a lot of guys, you have a high pitch count. But when you're pounding the zone with breaking balls like this and the fastball, life becomes pretty simple. That bat leaving the hands of Maldonado and ended up in the seats.
Juan Francisco. Got Francisco from the Atlanta Braves, Georgia, a couple months back when the Braves designated him for assignment.
Well, wasn't going to be a guy actually that you know to look at to fit anywhere for the Braves.
Well, that outfield's loaded, and
it's a good
pretty
chance
stocked
for him.
at the corners too.
Good opportunity for him.
Well, that's a power curveball right there at 80 miles an hour.
I would say no hit stuff, but he already gave up a hit in the first inning to Aoki. Otherwise, I'd say, you know what? There's no way this guy's going to have much fun if he keeps this up for a while.
One ball, 2 strikes, and a curveball into dirt, 2-2. Center field, a base hit. So Francisco with 2 outs aboard, and that'll bring up Betancourt. Betancourt's been around now, former Seattle Mariner with the Royals as well. He had 4 hits in the game yesterday for Milwaukee. They fell 10-8 to the Padres. They were way behind. They rallied. The 8 runs that they produced, I think Betancourt's going to come up.
Well, he had to run to the dugout, check on a
contact.
They had a little work done there by the trainer. They slid around, moved around a little bit.
They scored 8 runs yesterday, Frage. In the previous 4 games, they had a grand total of 9.
Well, you know, I don't really want to talk about all that because we did that with Florida and the Miami Marlins. They hadn't scored a run in 37 innings. And they pitched pretty good too, though. They get discounts and scoreboard recognition when you bring your group of 25 or more out to Coors Field. So plan on that. You got a lot of baseball left here at Lodo.
And that's a strike on Betancourt. Betancourt hitting just 190 out on the road. Mentioned the 4 hits yesterday. It's been an offensive highlight for Betancourt. Because he's hit 168 since the opening month of the season.
What good pitch.
All the misses are near misses.
Well, you wonder how when they do miss that they don't get after it and take a swing at it. I mean, that's right on the corner. That's so nasty you don't have a chance to hit it anyway. You just hope the umpire calls it a ball.
He's played for Tyler. Another strong inning from Chatwood. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. 20th to Blake. situated. You got a ton of televisions, a bar and bar food. Great place to watch the ball game high up here in right center field. No scores. The Rockies will send Michael Kadire, Todd Helton, and Malin Rosario to the booth here in the second. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. Throwing up a 7th spot. He is always welcome, and now in particular, it would really be welcome.
Yes, it would be very, very welcome. You know what you just said, that those guys were invited up to the booth. Are they coming up? Kadire and all those guys?
Did I say they were invited up?
Well, I thought we ought to invite ourselves down there. Why don't we do a game from the dugout someday?
You get that worked out.
What do you think the chances are?
I would say slim and none, and Slim just left town.
And Slim's gone. Dougie, you're on TV again. Wait, all your fans at home. The dogs are watching? Okay. Imagine that.
Doug is getting ready to go camping. When are you going camping? Oh, you went last night? Where'd you go? You were in Roosevelt National Park? Very nice. He bought that new camper. And I'll tell you what, he's a camping fool. He's always been a camping fool.
Yeah, but it's a lot better than a tent.
That's 3-1 on Kadire, leading things off in the second. Michael at 331. He had a big double in the 9th inning as the Rockies tried to rally yesterday. A couple hits in the loss for Michael yesterday. And he walks. Noteworthy because they were career hits 1,300 and 1,301 in his very fine career. It's time for the big hit presented by Mako, the company that repairs all kinds of hits. Todd Helton against Jose Fernandez, belted one into the second deck on Tuesday. Early home run gave the Rockies a lead they could not sustain. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting for as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. And there's a ball down the right field line. Todd will stop at first. But Kadire to third, and it's first and third. Colorado, nobody out.
What you try to do, even if you know you're not being leaned upon to play every single day, is to come through in situations like this. On a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, watch the foot hit, the hand start down and in fastball, similar to the one he rocketed out of the ballpark off of Fernandez. This ball just shot right by him down into that right field corner. And the play made in right field and thrown backhand to keep it at first and third.
That'll bring up Malin Rosario. Malin's been stuck on 13 home runs for a while. He's one of those guys that he catches fire. He can hit 5 or 6 in a week.
Now they're going to give up the run here early at Coors Field, a reputation for giving up runs, even though they didn't in the 4-game series with the Marlins. They'll set back, try to turn a double play early in the ball game and give you a run. As a hitter, think up the middle.
On Malin, couple hits yesterday, and a good slider with deck. This goes back to April 3rd this year against Willie Peralta. The Bull got him. The baby Bull with a home run to the second deck at Miller Park, and that's a long way. You got to get it in play here. First and third, nobody out. The RBI yesterday for Rosario is 48th of the year. Back to that slider. It's 2-1. Malin earlier this year had a 9-game hitting streak. Ended on the 4th of July. Kadire a walk, Helton a single. Boy, that's a big borderline pitch that swings in favor of Rosario. Now it's 3-1. Could have gone either way, as you see on the forward strike zone.
Yeah, very close to that outside corner, right on the knees. The pitcher's pitch that didn't get called. Thank goodness it didn't. Now you put him back into that fastball mode. Young kids are more apt to throw a fastball in this situation than an older veteran.
Oh, young kids who throw 96, right? 96, 97. Peralta just missed. And Ron Renicky not pleased. He thought that was in there also. And now the bases are loaded, nobody out.
Yeah, you kind of wonder where that might have missed at a little bit. It appears to catch the corner. Right there it is off the corner. But you see where the umpire is setting up on the inside like that. A lot of times they don't see that outside corner. Rick Krantz out to the mound to visit with his pitcher to calm him down, get his focus back on his catcher Maldonado, and let me and the manager handle the umpire. Is basically what that's all about. The Rockies this year have hit 305 with bases loaded. Charlie's 0 for 1.
And Charlie Blackmon will hit. Playing left field for Cargo.
Doug Eddings didn't give Kranitz a long time to visit about it. He jogged back to home plate in a hurry.
Charlie on Monday will get to see a lot of family and friends when he returns to his native Georgia. Oh, he's a good guy, free-spirited guy. Never looks like he gets too uptight. Got an opportunity here to do some damage. Bases loaded, nobody out. Kadire at third, Helton at second, Rosario at first. A single and a pair of walks. One ball, one strike. Blackmon swings over the top of a pitch is down and away. It's 1-2.
You got two young guys that can really bring it. With Kadire out at third base, these bases loaded right now. Contact's important. Try to get one run out of this no matter what.
This is a huge at bat, especially where you are in the order. Charlie's hitting seventh. You have Arenado on deck. And then even though Chatwood swings it well for a pitcher, I mean, you're still in a situation you got to get a ball in play. Easier said than done when a guy throws 96, 97. 1-2 on Blackmon. Where I think sometimes pitchers, George, outthink themselves. Charlie doesn't look like he's seen the fastball real well, and they flip the slider up there on 1-2.
Try to get him to chase in a 1-2 count. I'd be trying to get something on the ground to flip a double play. Throw that hard sinker.
2-2. In the air to shallow left, and what a catch by Segura. And he's going to pop off before Kadire could tag. What a great play by Gene Segura.
I didn't think he had a chance on this baseball. I thought Charlie minimum would maybe get an RBI, maybe 2 out of this as it went away from him. I mean, Todd Helton's even watching and saying this guy must be making pretty good. He broke because he was playing back up the middle. That's what makes it even that much more amazing. Then pops up and shows off that shortstop arm very quickly. Kadire thought about it for a second, and man, he just snap throwed this thing in there.
George, most guys who play shortstop run decently, but if he doesn't have plus speed, he's not going to make that catch. He was swung up the middle. So there's 1 out, and Nolan Arenado at the plate. 7 home runs, he's driven in 30. Outfield straight up for Arenado. Slider he got around, and it's 1-0.
I mentioned playing way up the middle than just laying all the way out. Now Kadire's going to think about trying to tag right here and start to go, and then whoop, nip, going right back to the bag because of this. You're hoping you draw such a strong throw that it gets away defensively from their infield.
Here's the 1-0. At the knees for a strike.
Really inconsistent strike zone from Doug Eddings tonight. For hitters, it makes it difficult if you're going to call high, low, and late movement. That ball obviously looked very low. Sometimes takes a couple innings for them to get caught up in it, get going in the ball game.
Punched off the glove of the first baseman Francisco to be an infield hit. 1-0 Colorado.
You know what? I don't know why he went after that ball, but I'm glad he did. Ricky Weeks was right in front of it, getting ready to make the play. Now, granted, it wasn't hit hard enough, but at least you're probably going to get one with Arenado at first.
That was a great break for the Rockies. If Weeks would have had one play, and that would have been to Peralta to get the out at first. Look where Ricky Weeks is, to George's point.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for Francisco to get that far out away from it. Weeks is getting ready in a position to even square the ball up to the center of his body. Good, I'm glad he didn't. Nolan gets an RBI, 31 on the year, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead.
Now Tyler Chatwood. We just got the official scoring. It confirms what we thought. I mean, you have to give him a hit. Chatwood pulls the baseball, and it's got a wide fair ball. A 2-run double for Tyler Chatwood. How do you like that? 3-0 Colorado. Chatwood now has 7 RBIs. Tied for second most in the National League.
And hitting .321 right now. How about that? The Rockies 21-9 when they score first at Coors Field this year. You see the ball right out of the reach of Betancourt down that third base line, and a heads-up play by Rosario. He was gone on contact, so Helton knew he'd score pretty easy once he saw it get by. And Rosario's coming hard with the bases loaded. Yeah, the Rockies able to get 2 there. You got second, third right now, and 1 out.
Dexter up with 2 in scoring position. So the big blow in an offense that's been struggling comes from the pitcher. It's fouled off by Fowler. And an appropriate one at that. And then Tyler Chatwood loves to swing the bat. I told you before, recruited as a shortstop at UCLA.
Their alignment through their advanced scouting a little strange with Dexter. Shortstop playing nearly right behind shortstop. Weeks pulled over in the hole also with Dexter. Got it.
That's going to load the bases again. They can't go out and visit with Peralta without removing him.
Well, now it's up to your catcher, your corner infielders to go and calm him down a little bit. But this pitch, heater right inside, caught Dexter right on the elbow.
Eighth man to hit in the inning, DJ LeMahieu. He struck out his first time. Bases loaded again. 1 out. Up the middle, and a diving stop. Segura, there's one. Safe at first, another run scores. Segura has made 2 outstanding plays in this game. That saved at least 1 run, and the diving catch down the left field line saved another run. The Rockies still have 4 in the inning.
Got a dive right up the middle by Segura, and cheating that way anyway. But he dives and then flips it up. Perfect to Weeks. The bare hand on over to first. Not in time to get LeMahieu, but he just extends out and then able to get the ball quick enough to Weeks on over to first, and a close play at first base.
Tulowitzki as the Rockies hit around here in the 2nd inning. Slider for a strike. Troy fouled out to third an inning ago.
43 pitches so far thrown in the game, 2 by Peralta. It'll take a little bit of time, obviously, to wear down this bullpen, because he's getting deep into this ball game, and as a young kid, as much success he's had of late as a manager, really not a lot of reason to leave him out there and let him take a good whooping for nothing. 4-0 Rockies.
One ball, 1 strike on Tulowitzki. Troy hits this to Segura, who will jump on the bag and then hurdle LeMahieu to end the inning. The Rockies hit around. They come up with 4 runs. A big blow. Tyler Chatwood with a double that scored 2. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Fusion. Quality you want, power you deserve. Ford Fusion, go further. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Well, the Rockies scored 4 runs, aided by a 2-run double by pitcher Tyler Chatwood. So as we go to the third, the Rockies out in front 4-0, 9-1-2 for the Brew Crew in the top of the third. Let's go downstairs again, check in with Mark Stout. Or no, I keep saying downstairs. We're just going
downstairs. He's downstairs.
We're going like a half a wedge away.
Yeah, not too far.
You're still downstairs.
I'm a level below, yeah. I am.
Go ahead, talk.
All right, Fan Friday, social media, @RootsSports_RM. Here's Jesse's question. Who is Colin McHugh, and is he pitching? Yes, Jesse, and we're going to show you some of the moves that were made today. As you can see, Corey Dickerson is up. Cargo's got the finger injury. Drew Pomerantz on the DL, bicep soreness. So McHugh is going to pitch tomorrow. They'll have to make another move tomorrow. But Colin McHugh is the guy that the Rockies got in the trade with the Mets for EY Jr. He has pitched in the big leagues. He's had success in the minors. In fact, he's pitched at Tulsa and at the Springs, as Chatwood is going to throw this one to first for the first out. We also have a question for you guys about Chatwood. John wants to know, is Chatwood throwing a curve or a slider? And, George, I know we've been down this road before, but a little bit of a different look with the slider for Chatwood, at least this season, correct?
A little bit bigger move to the left side. His 12-6 hook is still there, though. He just, the curveball, and realistically, just watch the velocity on the pitch. The curveball 72 to 77. The slider's going to be above 80. It's been up to 84, 85.
So there's the answer for John.
All right, Mark, thank you. Peralta hits the comebacker, and Ricky Weeks will get a second look at Chatwood. He struck out his first time.
Slider coming, John. There it is. Hard slider for a ball at 86.
He's also, it's like he's throwing 2 different curveballs or a slurve, George, because he's thrown that power slurve at about 80 miles an hour a couple of times today. On the ground, DJ LeMahieu is sure hands. Throws to Helton, 2 outs. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Well, in this inning, you can see 2 balls on the ground. That is not a surprise. Ground ball percentage in the National League by starters. Jake Westbrook's 1 at 74+%. Trevor Cahill of Arizona is 2. And right behind Tyler Chatwood, and interestingly, Willie Peralta is 5th. Norichika Aoki is at the plate. And a check swing foul ball.
Interesting to note the 2 guys with base hits against Chatwood tonight, both left-handed. Aoki got a hit in the first inning. Francisco left-handed in the second inning.
Well, that's a swing and run type of deal. We've seen Aoki do that the last couple of years since he came from Japan. He played for the Yakult Swallows in Japan, well-known club in Japanese Major League Baseball. 329 career average, 7-time All-Star, 6 Gold Gloves. Last year he was in the top 5 in Rookie of the Year voting in the National League, and he's having another good year. He's perfect in that 2 spot.
Slaps the ball to the other side, got some decent speed. Talked about that. 13 stolen bases.
Rockies up 4-0. I really think it's a hard call for an umpire, because you hear somebody yell time, your instincts take over, as opposed to looking out and seeing where the pitcher is in his delivery. And so I would say 95% of the time when a hitter calls time, the home plate umpire yells time and jumps out no matter where the pitcher is in his delivery. 2-2, hit the other way to Arenado. And he'll bounce it to Helton on purpose because of the sun at this hour. Well done. 1-2-3 third inning for Chatwood, 4-0 Rockies. field tonight, as it has been throughout the year. Rockies up 4-0. Rockies fans, it's Fan Friday, and we want to get your thoughts on tonight's topic. And here is the topic. In your opinion, what is the appropriate punishment for Ryan Braun? Text Toyota 720-720, followed by your thoughts, and watch during the 5th inning this evening. That's Toyota Talk. Willie Peralta will face Michael Kadire, and Kadire hits it in the air to shallow center field. Gomez will make the catch, 1 out. Is that Charlie working the camera tonight, trying to get some kettle corn? No,
Crash is out chasing down kettle corn. He's going to get hot dogs. He'll get everything for you. What do you want? A little kettle corn. Ooh, look at that big old thing. Snow cone looking pretty good. On a night like tonight, early in the game, it'd be good.
Milton takes a strike. Todd had a single down the right field line in that 4-run second inning. Step right up and get your kettle corn. Todd not in the lineup yesterday, and he hits this ball to left field down the line and out of play, foul. Whoa.
He's come up and in a couple of times. He caught Dexter Fowler on a 1-2 count.
Elton hits it to deep left field. This is right in front of the wall, caught by Schaefer. Todd gave it a ride. 2 outs. That'll bring up Willeen Rosario.
Hitting the road, subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online or on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home. Drew, what do you think? I'm thinking we should get some people from the Camarena Loft to come in and do all the reads tonight. What do you think?
That's not a bad idea. Except it just got nicked by the truck.
The truck says it's a really bad idea.
Said not a good idea.
You think it's a bad idea too, Doug?
Dougie doesn't like the idea either.
You guys are party poopers. Oh yeah, you are.
Listen, Doug's been characterized in a lot of ways never as a party pooper, though. Trust me on that. Rosario to Segura. And a 1-2-3 inning in the 3rd for Willie Peralta. We'll go to the 4th. The Rockies 4 and the Brew Crew nothing.
Coors Field. It's a Fan Friday night, so we're taking your tweets at @RootsSports_RM. And I got one from Beth. She was thinking about Tyler Chatwood. He's now got 7 RBIs with the 2 that he had earlier tonight. She says, who's got the record for RBIs in a season by a pitcher? Well, let me show you. Just looked it up. It's Jason Marquis at 09 with 8. So you're on to something, Beth, because at 7, you see Chatwood moves up tonight. They haven't updated it. He is second all time with those 2 RBIs earlier tonight. Could set the record this year. Let's go back to the guys.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Mark did great work on that. I think that's the Rockies record, but I think it's more than that because Mike Hampton hit 7. It's a lot more than that. Mike Hampton hit 7 home runs one year, so obviously he had more than 8 RBIs. So we'll double check that one.
Dougie, what do you got?
And we'll check the big league record as well. 1-1 on Gene Segura, 3, 4, and 5.
It's tough to do that because Babe Ruth pitched in the 20s, and he also, you know what I mean. Ruth probably had a few RBIs while he was pitching.
Well, you got to remember, he was primarily a pitcher then with Boston. You know, in each of his last 2 years, he started 1 game, right?
On purpose.
Got back on the hill.
Yep.
And he completed the game, too.
They did that back then.
He's gone. That is strikeout number 6. Second time Chatwood has gotten Segura.
That fastball away and in. Look at this heavy sink here. And then watch Rosario's glove when he caught that ball. See how it moved at the end? He's got terrific movement on his fastball and with the added velocity to it.
Season high in punch outs is 10 at home against Houston on May 29th. Not only a season high, but a career high. Gomez takes the strike, and it's 0-2. Gomez punched out his first time as well.
Sunset, you're about to lose your hat there, buddy.
You can't say enough, George, about the top 4 in the rotation of late with Chatwood's going tonight. Swung on and missed. There's another strikeout. That's number 7.
That's only 2 outs. They get 3.
De La Rosa, Chacin, Chatwood, and Juan Nicasio.
Well, the 4 guys there, that 4/5 of the rotation. And the other thing about that rotation, you basically control them through next year because of the club option on De La Rosa. So, I mean, you could keep this 4/5 of this rotation intact with what you want for a while. Those first 3 in the rotation you mentioned, Chacin, Nicasio, and Chatwood, all very young and controllable for another 3 years. When you're hunting for pitching and you want to have this kind of success, this is the way to do it.
Logan Schaefer at the plate. Schaefer is one of those guys who was drafted 3 times. He was drafted before he signed, obviously, with the Brewers. He was drafted once in the 47th round by the Colorado Rockies. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's popping 94s and 95s. And
consistent. Very consistent.
For a guy that's not very tall, probably about 5'10" and a half, he gets good playing. He's pulled to right for a base hit.
3rd hit of the ball game for the Milwaukee Brewers, all left-handed. Not a right-hander's touched him yet.
Martin Maldonado will come up with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. I've stolen George's hat because the sun was on my dome, and I love the hat. And now the sun has faded behind.
And you still love the hat.
I still love the hat behind the rock pile. Yeah, really pleasant. Now up at the Camarena Loft, and it is cranking up here. A lot of people having a good time taking in the ball game. Great place to start your weekend at the Camarena Loft. Look at Nicky B running that handheld camera. He took a shot of us and said, "I'm done with you guys." Now he's running around in the loft, making new friends.
Wait, I told my mother I was going to the movies.
Ron Renicky not happy with Doug Eddings. He's trying to get a few pitches for his starting pitcher, Willie Peralta. 0-1 on Maldonado. Ground ball left side. Nice play. Easy as that for Arenado as he flips to LeMahieu. Rockies 4, Milwaukee nothing as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
But I do have a correction on the stat, because when I was looking up the pitchers' single-season RBI marks, I didn't include retired pitchers. It was just active. So if you take a look at the screen now, and as Drew said, Mike Hampton had 7 home runs in one season, so he had 16 RBIs, and you look at it back in 2001. So 16 is the total. A couple other double digits with Bohannon and Jennings, each with 11 in a season. Chatwood now at 7 is tied for 8th all-time. So you'd expect he'd continue to move up the list. So there's the corrected list. My bad.
There's nothing wrong with
I didn't think it was bad. It sounded good to me. You sold me on it.
Yeah, it's all the delivery sometimes, you know, George?
Exactly. Absolutely. And Mark, one footnote to that. Since 74, the most RBIs by any pitcher in baseball, Rick Sutcliffe. Excuse me. Rick Sutcliffe, George's old teammate, not when he was a teammate at George's, but
he had a few with Chicago, let me tell you.
This is when he was with the Dodgers. He had 17 back in 1979, a leadoff base hit by Charlie Blackmon. So Charlie at first base, threat to steal. Nolan Arenado with an infield hit and an RBI in that 4-run second inning. Arenado with that infield hit is quietly hit in 6 straight. Like a hit and run swing, but Blackmon wasn't going anywhere.
Wasn't going anywhere, but trying to shoot it through that right side. first baseman holding on Blackman. Week shortened up for the double play. It kind of gives you a little bit better chance of shooting through that right side.
Base hit for Arenado. Blackman's going to go first to third. Gomez throw is wide of the bag. Betancourt fielded it, kept it from going in the dugout of Milwaukee. First and third, nobody out.
Take him any way you can, and this is off towards the end of the bat. Almost appeared to break it because of the strength of Arenado. He's able to drive it up the middle. The Blackman never slowed down. He forced the issue and the throw offline. Nolan 2 for 2 now with an RBI in the ball game.
This now with the 4-0 lead, George, and the guy who's at the plate in Chatwood gives Walt Weiss options to be creative.
Well, let him swing the bat. It's 4-0.
You can do that.
That's the way I look at it. Let him swing the bat a little bit.
You can slug bunt. Obviously, you could be traditional and just try to move that runner at first, Arenado, to second. They show bunt, and the pitch is outside. Here's what Chatwood did in the second inning with the bases loaded. Look at that. He got the barrel out on a 95-mile-an-hour heater, and he knocked it down the left field line to score Pelt and Rosario. The other aspect with Chatwood is, look out, 2-0. He runs well. So it's not like an automatic, a lot of pitchers, not most pitchers, but a lot of pitchers, George, if they hit it on the ground, it's automatically a double play.
For me, I got to look at everything. Is he a good bunter? Can he put it where it needs to be put to stay out of the double play? Or am I better off letting him swing the bat and see if he can lift something into the outfield? You've already got a 4-0 lead.
Stu Cole delivering the signs. See if they let him hit here 2-0. They are. He took a healthy swipe. It's 2-1. After he swung 2-0, Peralta courtesy throw to first, wanted to see if he revealed early, which he did. Show and bunt, keeps it out there, and he gets the bunt down. Good job by Chatwood. Second and third, one out for Dexter Fowler. 1-3 on the sac bunt. Time for our AT&T trivia question. What is the fewest runs ever scored by both teams in a 4-game series at Coors Field? Dex 0 for 1, and he was hit by a pitch. Slider at the knees for a strike. Charlie Blackman going home late Sunday night when the Rockies head to Atlanta. Of course, so's Dexter Fowler. Charlie Blackman's at third. He had a leadoff single. Nolan Arenado singled up the middle. Sacrificed to second. Dexter's hitting some hard luck lately. 4 for 25 since the break. Great block by Maldonado.
I like what Charlie did too at third base. Charlie walked down the line, and as he started to make the pitch, he looked a little bit closer on it. And as it started to get away, a couple of hard steps till he saw the catcher recover. Sinker ball guys, you watch Maldonado there kind of ask for the ball chest high. Try to throw a high fastball by Dexter. And that's because he doesn't have the back foot slider right now. And so he tries to, well, it's hard for a sinker ball guy to change that and make a move on it.
Why on earth did Rene Latchman not field that, George?
Didn't want to show off.
Come on, Latch. It's a two-hopper. Three and two. LeMahieu on deck. Ball four. And Dexter walks, and the Rockies, for the third time in the game, have the bases loaded.
Yeah, young meeting out on the mound with Maldonado and that young catcher, and all Rennie can do is look down to try to figure out a way to get through this ball game. Looking to come out to the ball game? Hey, there's always a great Rockies ticket deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials and check back all season long to get a ticket price, a special ticket price here at the ballpark. LeMahieu 1 for 3 with the bases loaded.
Fielder's choice. It produced an RBI his first time up. 1 on DJ. He set an anchor at second base with the way he's played. Josh Rutledge, who was struggling, sent to AAA a few days ago. Blackman singled, he's at third. Arenado singled, he's at second, and Dexter just walked. Rockies up 4-0 here in the fourth. Just one out. Rockies playing tonight without Carlos Gonzalez. Day to day with that finger injury. One he's been battling now for a few weeks. Kept him out of the home run derby in the All-Star game. 0-2. On the ground to Segura, and he goes the only direction he could go. And Arenado's safe?
Yeah, he called it safe, and I guess apparently he slid underneath the tag.
He didn't have to tag. He
Exactly,
just had to be on the
but
bag.
that's what he did. He straddled the bag and then tried to tag him. Renicky can't believe it. He's just shaking his head. Are you serious?
Betancourt must have had a brain, you know what. If he straddled the bag.
He did. He straddled it. He didn't get his foot on the bag. Watch again. You're going to see it right here. Arenado off and running. And the throw's going to come to third. He's straddling the bag, and he tries to tag him.
Yeah, he's just not thinking. He got back there, and you know what? I give a lot of credit to Angel Hernandez. He realizes that, you know what? He never touched the bag, and he didn't get the tag down. That's the only play for Segura, and it's talked about often. Shortstop to third baseman. Hey, in the hole to my backhand side, I'm coming to you. First and second, bases loaded.
Why are they thinking about just put your foot on the bag? Wow.
5-0 Rockies, and here's Tula with the bases loaded. Troy's 0 for 2.
4 for 8, 10 RBIs though for Tulowitzki with the bases loaded this year.
It's another RBI, by the way, for DJ. And Troy lines into center field, clean as a whistle. Dexter around third. Here he comes. Gomez can throw, and Dex is out at the plate. That is the second out. Tulowitzki makes it 6-0. LeMahieu goes to third.
'56 RBIs now for Tulo, and I'm going to tell you, the guy at center, Gomez, can really throw. And it was hit hard. He charges quickly, comes up firing, and throws a perfect strike to home plate, and Dexter's nailed. Dexter looking to make sure that ball's going to get through. And then the throw right on the money.
Gomez, among center fielders in baseball, one of the best arms. Gomez, until you've been around him, you don't realize, most center fielders, Dex is really tall and lean. Gomez is really put together. He's big and thick. He's 6'3", close to 220 pounds. Just look at his legs. Here's Kadire. Slider at the top part of the zone. It's 1-1. Two on Michael. A walk and a fly ball to center field. Cuddy leading the team in the second half, as he pretty much did in the first half in batting average, .333. Rob Wooten is up throwing in Milwaukee's pen. They just called him to the big leagues. He was closing ball games in AAA.
40 innings pitched, 40 strikeouts, excuse me, in 42 innings. He only walked 12. He had 20 saves there. And they were brought up for this purpose. Reading the articles in the Milwaukee paper today, he said coming to hitter-friendly Coors Field, even though the games were low scoring with the Marlins, they wanted extra bullpen help. So they went with a 4-man pitch and an added bullpen man in Wooten. If he's been closing, more than likely a 1-inning type outing for him. May be difficult to eat up some innings for him.
Well,
although their pitcher hits third.
There's a line drive off the glove of Segura. He can't make every play. Evidently, it'll be an RBI base hit for Kadire. Make it 7-0 Colorado.
Oh, and guess what?
We have everybody headed to Taco Bell tomorrow for the Rockies Taco Special. Colorado's been looking to break out offensively, and they're doing it tonight against the Brew Crew.
Yeah, they wore out this young shortstop, Segura. I mean, he has had to cover a lot of ground, and a lot of it he hasn't been able to get to, like this one. The line drive off the glove of Kadire. The run's going to score. I think Betancourt too anxious to run up to the mound and talk with the rest of his teammates right now. Good hustle on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. He's popped out of the end of the glove. They'll go to the bullpen, and Wooten will head in.
Rockies leading 7-0 in the fourth inning. open up the weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers. So far, so good. They put a touchdown up on Willie Peralta and ran him out of the game here in the 4th inning. And with 7 runs, reminder to head to Taco Bell tomorrow to get your Rockies taco special, with the Rockies scoring 7+ runs tonight. Also, Taco Bell, along with Root Sports, will donate $250 to the I Have a Dream Foundation. This is Rob Wooten making his major league debut, and Helton fouls one off, and it is out of play.
40 ball games he pitched down in AAA. You see the 0-1 record, but it's the saves. He had 20 saves down there. Very good earned run average of 2.94 and 45 strikeouts.
Well, Ron Ranicky was saying before the game, George, to your observation, even though he's been working in the closer's role, he felt like he was equipped right now and stretched out enough to work a couple of innings if need be.
Well, you need to have pitchers just for games like this at Coors Field. So many managers are now firm believers in the fact, and the Rockies with their expanded bullpen also. You know that you need 8 to come in here for a 3-game series. Helton lined it hard to center. It's going to drop.
Throws high, and the Rockies have an 8 spot. Dyer holding at third. Tulowitzki crosses home plate. Helton with his 2nd hit of the night and his 33rd RBI. It's not a bunch of blasts, but it's a lot of hits. 8 now.
8 hits. There hasn't been an error recorded. Todd full swing on that cutter in. Got it a little bit off the end of the bat. And I think the swing fooled a little bit of Gomez in center, so he broke back 1 step, then took off on the fly, and then just airmailed it to the screen behind home plate.
And the Rockies, for the 2nd time in the ball game, hit around with Willeen Rosario at the plate. Well, it's another day at the ballpark for Helton, and another move up one of the all-time lists. He ties the late great Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett, on the all-time multi-hit list with 702. Former University of Arizona basketball star Kenny Lofton's next on that list. Todd also now 77th all-time in RBIs with 1,378. 1-1 on Rosario. Rob Wooten, a North Carolina native and a University of North Carolina product. Cutter's fouled off. Took him a while, but he arrived, George. 28 last week.
Somebody told him, you're not taking this thing off. I'm staying in the game till you tell me I can't ever pitch again, and tear the uniform off and send me home by 29 other teams. You'd like to see guys like this make the most of an opportunity here.
He overcame Tommy John surgery also a few seasons back. 1st and 3rd. And the breaking ball misses. It's 2-2. 2-2 on Willeen Rosario with 2 outs. The Rockies with 4 in the 2nd and 4 more here in the 4th. On the ground is short, and Segura flips to Weeks. That's all for the Rockies, but it was a great inning once again. They hit around. Todd Helton chipping in RBI. 4 across the plate, 8-0. beautiful Coors Field 9. We're up at the Camarina Loft, high up in center field. A reminder, Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Juan Francisco, the 7-hole hitter for Ron Renicky, will step up.
Well, then for Chatwood sitting that long on the bench with an 8-0 lead, just think about throwing some sinkers, get the ground ball out, and use this inning to loosen things up again. You were in such a rhythm that you don't want to come out here now because you set for a while and fight through it a little bit, get yourself loose. Just try to throw strikes with quality pitches. Allow the arm action and the grip to create the movement. Don't try to force the movement.
They just changed the scoring, George, and I think it's the appropriate thing to do. There's a great curveball, 1-2. Remember on the play by Segura in the hole on the DJ LeMahieu ground ball where he went to third, his only play.
They gave an error to Betancourt?
They gave an error to Betancourt. So of the 4 runs in the inning, only 1 is earned. We asked earlier, it's our Toyota Talk inning. We do this on Friday. Rather than you ask questions, we ask you to comment on a topic. And the topic today is, do you think the Ryan Braun suspension was appropriate? In other words, what do you think the appropriate response would be for Major League Baseball? And you may agree with the whole season, or you may feel more or less. Ryan Braun is just as bad as Lance Armstrong. Ban him from the sport before he does anything else. That is strikeout number 8 now for Chatwood.
Spun the curveball and spun it right in a perfect position too. Right over the outer half of the plate. Had him fooled way out on his front foot, and no shot to put a swing on this baseball.
Line shot right at Todd Helton, and Betancourt is gone.
That'll keep your pitch count down.
Rob Wooden's going to get a lot of things out of the way in his first ball game, George.
Isn't that nice?
Going to get his first AB out of the way also.
Told Renicky, when was the last time you hit down there? Well, 8th grade.
And Wooten hadn't had a lot of at bats. You go all the way back throughout his career, not only as a pro, but I think in Carolina he worked out of the pen also. I know he does not have a start in professional baseball. Banned for life, says a couple of people, including Barb in Colorado Springs. And Wooten strikes out. Strikeout number 9 in 5 innings for Tyler Chatwood, who has a 3-hit shutout going, and he's up 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Coors Field. Tune in tonight after the ball game for Rockies Real Time this week with the Midsummer Classic behind us. We're taking a look back at the great moments from the first half of the season. Training with George Pacheco in the offseason, fishing up north with Todd Helton on his ranch. The Rockies welcome you into the world like never before, into their world, I should say. It's Rockies Real Time tonight after the game, right here on Root Sports. You wouldn't even fit in that car, would you?
Nope, don't want to. Won't make it in the four-wheel spots that I go to. Well, it might. It just probably ain't going to make it back.
Rockies up 8-0 with George Frazier and Mark Stout. I'm Drew Goodman on a Fan Friday at Coors Field. Check back with Mark Stout in a little bit. Charlie Blackmon's 1 for 2. And he takes strike one from Rob Wooten in relief of Willie Peralta. Remember, Willie Peralta came in his last 4 games. He'd allowed 1 run in 29 1/3. In his last 6 games, he had the lowest ERA in the game at 0.87.
Well, and again, you're probably sitting at home going, well, what's the difference with him and Fernandez and Kohler and those guys and Nolasco? Well, you know what? His defense didn't help him out any at all tonight either. I mean, there's some balls hit that, you know, stops a big inning. You don't allow some things happen, but the Rockies have singled him to death with some soft shots and some hard shots. Well, I just don't understand why that first baseman just keeps going after balls that Weeks is standing there waiting on.
And the throw was low. Wooten couldn't handle it. Safe at first.
Man, unbelievable. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe there's a reason why he has 10 errors at first.
Well, here's the thing, George. He never played first base before this year. And with all the injuries they've had.
Come on. Major League debut, you got a ground ball. Now all of a sudden come out to check on him.
Did he get spiked?
Yeah, I think he's saying he's all right. I just don't get why he's going after the baseball. There ain't any reason for it. And he gets spiked. I didn't see what I saw.
I think he slammed his foot on the bag awkwardly.
Oh, he got hit right on the ankle bone. That's what happened.
And then he slammed his foot on the bag.
Had a little bit of disgust there.
He's getting everything out of the way. He got to meet the trainer. He got to swing the bat. An error on Juan Francisco, his 11th. Nolan Arenado's got a couple of hits, couple of runs scored tonight, also a ribby. Arenado to deep center field. Gomez going back and right in front of the wall and make the catch. So Arenado drives it 410 feet. Needs to go 415 when you go in that direction. 1 out, and that'll bring up Tyler Chatwood. Let's get to our AT&T trivia question again. What's the fewest runs ever scored by both teams in a 4-game series at Coors Field?
You want the answer?
I think I know the answer.
Oh.
It just happened.
Yeah.
And it was eclipsed by 3 runs. The Rockies and Marlins. Chatwood with another knock. He's 2 for 2, a sac bunt, 2 RBIs, single, and a double. So it's Little League revisited again for Chatwood. We've said that a few times this year.
9 strikeouts too.
9 punch outs on the pitching side.
Well, just make it the Chatwood night, right? And not necessarily these balls hit so hard off Wooten, but he's that sinker up and elevated a little bit. Chatwood taking advantage of the hole to the right side with Blackmon at first.
Dexter fouls it off. 2 on, 1 out. Rockies up 8-0. Rockies with the 8 runs tonight. Matched what they did in 4 games against Miami.
This ball will be hit up into the second deck in foul territory. The Rockies tonight 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
Outside. Well, Wooten's making his major league debut. He's not alone for the Brewers this year, just like we were talking about with the Marlins. When you're struggling, you have a lot of guys make their big league debut. He's the 9th Brewer this year to make his big league debut. And this is in the air to right. Tagging and moving from second to third is Charlie Blackmon on the catch by Aoki. Here are the 9 Brewers to make their big league debut this year. Johnny Helweg, and again, he was part of the trade from Anaheim for Zach Greinke, or with Zach Greinke last year, for Zach Greinke, I should say, with Gene Segura. Caleb Gindle's on the roster still. Chris Davis is back up. He came up when Braun was dismissed for the season.
Boy, a lot of guys. Doug Melvin's had to deal with it an awful lot.
This is sliced to right, and Aoki made the catch. That stole a run and another knock for LeMahieu. Good catch by Nori Aoki. Well, the Rockies had a hit and 2 men left in that inning. Tyler Chatwood provided the hit. 5 innings complete at Coors Field. The Rockies 8 and the Milwaukee Brewers nothing. Root Sports is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local Dodge dealer today. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Welcome back. 8-0 Colorado. They've out-hit the Brewers 9-3 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier at the Camarena Loft, and down below the rock pile is Mark Stout. Mark?
Indeed, at the center field set, Fan Friday at Root Sports_RM. This question comes in: how many runs have the Rockies ever scored at Coors Field and when? I'm going to go with single games. It's in the media guide. 20, 3 different times. September 23rd of 03 against Arizona. September 20th, 05, San Diego. Also in September the 18th, 06 against San Fran. So 3 times against NL West teams. 20, the most in a single game here at Coors Field, guys.
I think offensively, Mark, and thank you, what the Rockies would love to see is a level of consistency, as opposed to, it's nice when you throw an 8 spot out, you know, halfway through a ball game. You'll take that any night of the week, clearly. But what has to happen is, as opposed to you know, 9-1 ball game and then, you know, 4 straight where it's 1s and 2s.
Steady across. go out and have a goal scoring 4 runs a ball game. And whenever you add on to that, pretty good, and hope the way this pitching staff's going, it just continues.
And the pitching staff is in the best place it has been in certainly the last year and a half.
Well, it's going to be low scoring where you're getting ready to go. There's no question about that with the Atlanta Braves and their ballpark. They have very good pitching going on, even though Hudson's hurt.
Pittsburgh, too. They pitch great.
Pittsburgh's pitching very well in New York with the young guns. If you happen to catch, Walker and Harvey and some of these guys, you're looking at a dangerous spot. Ball hit hard. Dexter going back on it. Not going to get it.
Ricky Weeks with a leadoff double. 4th hit, first extra base hit for the Brewers tonight. I'll bring up Aoki. Well, we thank you for texting in your thoughts during Toyota Talk on the Ryan Braun situation. Make sure to visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSports. RM, where Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby will give you his thoughts on Ryan Braun. And the Cowboy doesn't generally mince words.
No, he doesn't.
Aoki a single and a ground ball to third. Tell you how rough things have been offensively for the Rockies. This is only the 2nd time the Rockies have scored more than 5 runs in a game in their last 18 ball games.
Heard a bad rumor too. Sam, who works with us up in the booth, did he rent it out? Somebody said we came out here to the Camarena Loft tonight, and we're up here in the upper deal, and they said Sam sold suite tickets in our booth. You really think he did that?
No. You want to know what? Sam's enjoying.
We're going to find out in a minute, maybe.
Sam's enjoying the peace and quiet and serenity of
wait. Who's that over
there?
Who's that over on the left? Watching the Cowboy show.
Well, I don't know.
Who's that? Was that Chad? Okay, that's $1.
0-2. Where is that?
That had to be just off the plate. Sailed with some late movement.
At 96. Well, it was slightly off the plate,
but close enough that you've been running and hacking at everything else. Why didn't you hack at that? It's off. I mean, it's off a good 2 inches off the end of the plate.
That is sliced to left and a base hit. It's going to bring in Ricky Weeks.
Smart play by Charlie Blackmon too. They're waiting to see if he'd fire this thing to home plate. Or back towards third base. He shot it right into second base to keep the runner at first, and hopefully a double play involved. Did not go after the fastball at 96. He goes after the curveball, though. Running out of the box, just sliced it down the left field line. And by slicing it down the left field line, it took Charlie out of the play at home plate because he's running away from the baseball on a field spin and throw.
Middle of the diamond, Tulowitzki can't get there, and Aoki's going to go first to third. That's 3 straight hits, as Gene Segura, after striking out twice, has a knock.
Well, I think Chatwood felt like somebody up the middle was going to get it because he started to reach up for it and then pull back. Probably disappointed with himself a little bit that he didn't make a play on that ball. See right here, he started to go up, pulls back. Tulowitzki not able to get to it up the middle. And they end up first and third.
Troy went through the motion like he was glove flipping it to LeMahieu. Watch this.
He's trying to get the other guy to slide a little bit. Maybe not. Try to get him to slide and hold up, prevent him from going out to third base.
Carlos Gomez, nobody out, first and third, a run in, 8-1 Colorado. Brewers have lost 3 of 4 overall. They're in a stretch where they're going to be on the road quite a bit. 16 of their next 19 on the road. This is game 1 of a 7-game roadie. They'll also play 4 just to the south of Milwaukee. A little more than an hour and a half's drive in Chicago. Against their longtime rivals, the Cubs. You saw Ron Renicky. Ron had a meeting today with his club that went a little bit beyond your first day in meeting in terms of going over the other team's pitchers and then the other team's offensive players. Told his team that we have to remain focused. We've had to deal with a lot of things now, not only on the field but off the field.
Well, swing and a miss here too. You'll have a strikeout, but then you have plays like Betancourt at third base, and it makes you wonder if they were listening to the meeting.
Good point. 10 strikeouts. That matches a career high for Chatwood. Logan Schaefer coming up. Now it's the 90th pitch for Chatwood.
76 he entered the inning with.
Chatwood a strikeout and a single. Only two guys he hasn't struck out in the lineup, Aoki and Betancourt. Double play ball. There's one, and safe at first. The run scores. So Schaefer beat the return throw by Troy. Aoki scores the second run. Two gone, man at first, and that'll bring up Martin Maldonado.
Don't forget about this Sunday. You want to be one of the first 20,000 to the ballpark. It'll be Ellis Burke's Bobblehead Day. It's all brought to you by Sports Authority. So make you get out to the park early. Get your tickets and be one of the first 20,000 as the Rockies take on the Brewers, and you could walk away with an Ellis Burke bobblehead.
Maldonado a strikeout and a ground ball to third.
Think we can make it over to the rock pile with the Cracker Jacks tonight? I bet Doug didn't bring them. Did you forget the Cracker Jacks of all things?
Weren't delivered to you, were
Where'd
they?
he go?
I don't know if we could. That's a strike.
Oh, we made it last time.
Wins against us.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be good. As long as nobody dies for it.
I'm saying no. That's end of the win. Can't do
No,
it.
piece of cake.
Can't do it.
I'm telling you, no, that's a piece of cake.
I'm telling you, it's an optical illusion. It's not as close as you think.
I'm betting.
It's a big chopper, and fortunately, you have a catcher running, and Tulowitzki throws out Maldonado. Nice play by Troy with the bare hand. In the inning, a couple of runs on 3 hits for Milwaukee as they get on the scoreboard. 8-2 Colorado, middle of 6. Second inning, the Rockies would score 4 times. Nolan Arenado punches a base hit, an infield hit to the right side. That would score a run, and then Tyler Chatwood down the left field line, continuing his strong showing offensively this year. 2-run double there, and double play wasn't turned. LeMahieu beats the throw. Arenado scores the 4th run of the inning. Same deal in the 4th inning. The Rockies would score 4 times. Not a bunch of big blasts. This was an error on the third baseman Betancourt not putting his foot on the bag. And Tulowitzki with a single up the middle to score 1. If not for a great throw by Gomez, they would have scored 2. As Fowler was cut down at the plate. Michael Kadire off the glove. That turned into a base hit. And as Todd helped the big swing, and it ended up as a blue single to center field. So an RBI for Todd. Milwaukee got a couple of runs last half inning. It's Colorado 8 and Milwaukee 2. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village. Troy Tulowitzki is at the plate here in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 with that RBI hit you just witnessed. Troy's season average at .327 as he slashes at that pitch from Wooten. Wooten in his 2nd full inning of work. He got the final out of the 4th inning. The final line on Willie Peralta, by the way, if you keep a book: 3 2/3, 8 runs, 5 earned, 7 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He hit a batter. The Rockies get after Willie Peralta and nickel and diming their way to this big lead. But they'll take it any way they can.
Well, after the last 4 games and the inability to score runs, take advantage of the defensive mistakes, you better believe it.
Troy hits a high fly ball to Aoki and right, 1 out.
Jimmy Wright and Tyler Chatwood talking about pitches made during the half inning. You know, when you got 6 innings, 2 runs, you've thrown the ball extremely well. Got one of those deals, high five, leave him alone. But Manny Corpus has been warming up. So Tyler, Drew mentioned, in the mid-90s with pitches thrown in this ball game. So that may be part of the deal too. They may switch things out a little bit here.
Yeah, and he's at 95 pitches, so more than likely his evening is complete. Michael Kadire, a walk, a fly ball to center, and that RBI hit off the glove of Gene Segura. Two-strike count on Cuddy, leading the club with that .332 average. On the ground to Segura.
Been impressed by Wooten so far. A lot of ground ball outs. Realistically pitched pretty well. Battled through the 1 error that was created by Francisco. So that hard sinker, major league debut, 28 years old. Proud night for him.
Safe Light Auto Glass. If you have windshield damage, the folks to call: 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. Swing by Todd. Colin McHugh tomorrow will make his Rockies debut, pitching against the Brewers. Drew Pomerantz earlier today put on the disabled list, 15-day shelf with left bicep tendonitis.
Todd hotter than a firecracker, 354 in the month of July. There's what Drew's talking about.
Corey Dickerson is in the dugout. McHugh, since coming from the Mets, has done a pretty good job.
Well, he pitched a couple of starts at Tulsa, threw very well there, then on to Colorado Springs. Now, he'd been in Las Vegas, where the New York Mets AAA affiliate was, and had an ERA below 3, which is incredible when you're talking about the Pacific Coast League as a starting pitcher.
Especially pitching at Cashman Park. That goes all the way to the backstop. And they get the out at first base. So the Rockies are done in the 6th. It is a 1-2-3 inning for Rob Wooten. We'll go to the 7th. Colorado 8, Milwaukee 2.
lead on the Brewers. Good look at Coors Field on a Friday night, a Fan Friday. And here's a question that came in from Buffalo, Wyoming Rockies fan. Rafael Betancourt, how much longer is he going to be out? Appendicitis. He's on the DL until July 30th. I saw Rafi earlier this week. That appendicitis and that operation happened over a week ago. He came to the park. He wasn't feeling well. His son was with him and said to Keith Duggar and the training staff, I think something's wrong. So that night he had his appendix out. I don't think he's thrown at all. And he said he was really going to take it easy. Rockies go on a 10-game road trip beginning on Monday in Atlanta. And, guys, I don't think he's going to be on that trip at all. If he is, it's just to kind of slowly get back into throwing.
No, he's not going on the trip, Mark. I talked to him as well, and he's not going to throw until at least next week. The doctors naturally want the midsection. He had an appendectomy to be feeling much better than it does right now. You're talking about a handful of days outside of surgery. So he hopes to throw next week. He will not be on the road trip with the Rockies. He'll be staying back, probably working with Scotty Moriyama.
Tanner Chatwood, he's thrown 100 pitches one other time this year at 103. That was against the Mets on June 27th. He is at 98 right now. Francisco with a line out to Nolan Arenado.
Here's Yuniesky Betancourt. He swings and misses at a slider. I just love how Chatwood goes about his business. He's a great kid, really nice young man, and he is fiercely competitive.
Reminds me of a racehorse.
I don't know many racehorses.
Trains all the time. Well, I owned them. But they train all the time, and then come race day, they know when it's race day. They're not very friendly. And that's the way with Chad Tyler. Every fifth day, it's race day, and he becomes a pretty tough guy and gets prepared. Those other four, mild-mannered, going about his business every day. Badenhopper, right-hander, warming up in the bullpen for the Brewers. Nice job by the rookie, Wooten, who went 2 in the third innings.
Brooke Badenhop throwing in the Brewers pen. 1-2. See you later, Betancourt. That is a new career high. Punch out number 11 tonight for Tyler Chatwood.
And the 11th strikeout by Chatwood ties a season high by the Rockies with Mr. Oswald, who had 11 earlier in the loss. He'll come up with number 11 now with a strikeout elevated fastball. Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo shows you the heat getting right by him. It's under the bat, it's over the bat when it's elevated at 95. McCoy will pinch hit now.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Ron Renicky would have one of his premier players pinch hit in this situation, in that it's the 7th inning. They're down by 6 runs. He only has 3 other options on the bench, but 2 outs, nobody on is going to have Lucroy. Pinch hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chatwood's pitched tonight. Vince Scully would say like he's double parked and there's a meter maid in the neighborhood. Gets the baseball, gets right back on the rubber. 2-1. Eight to 2 Colorado, top of 7.
Career high number of pitches for Chatwood is 117. That came against the New York Yankees
when he was with the Angels
on June the 19th.
Well,
2011.
He works a 1-2-3 7th inning. Great work tonight by Tyler Chatwood. Rockies up a 6 spot. Rockies leading the Brewers 8-2 with George Frazier and Mark Stout. I'm Drew Goodman. We're at the Camarena.
This was a great bet. I didn't think Goody said I couldn't do it. I couldn't. He did.
Which is unusual because you usually throw them a lot farther than I do.
A lot farther. Look at Goody. Get out of the way. Watch me. Atta baby. Right on the front row.
I didn't think we could get it there. So listen, then you and I missed, and we had two that fell down.
Oh, there it is again. Replay. That was good.
Off the rock, but we had two that fell down by the
Brewers guy took it.
I mean, George, was it sitting on the ground for 5 seconds before a Brewer came and said, "Ooh, that looks like food"?
They came flying over there and got it. Well, Badenhop, the right-hander, good sinker slider guy. He'll be 87-90 with a hard sinker. He's been in 43 ball games, an earned run average just shy of 4. A whip at 116. He doesn't walk people. He will put the ball on the ground. McCroy at first base now, and he will hit 9th. Badenhop will hit 7th in place of Francisco.
Willeen Rosario takes a strike from Badenhop. Willeen is 0 for 2 and a walk. He scored a run back in the 2nd inning. Rockies came into the ball game with 12 runs over their last 5 evenings, and they have 8 tonight. That's on the corner.
At 90 miles an hour, check out the Blue Moon Brewing Company at Coors Field. Now open at 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, subject to Rockies home games. Go to therockies.com/Blue Moon for more information.
Slowly hit, foul. You know what's interesting about Rob Wooten's major league debut? He faced 10 hitters. The first man he faced, Todd Helton, so he'll never forget that.
Nope.
And he'll say, kids, Helton got me for an RBI single. He said, but I faced him later on in that stint, and I struck him out. So it started with a Helton base hit, and it ended with a Todd Helton strikeout. Rob Wooten went 2 1/3. Gave up no runs on 2 hits. And now Badenhop strikes out Rosario. That'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. His first career hit came against Helton, his first career punch out with Todd Helton at the plate. One gone. As you look at the concourse in left field, busy night at Coors Field. Another great crowd. Rock pile to our right, filled to the brim, and we really fed him well. We got him one bag of Cracker Jacks.
1 for 4. We hit 250.
Hey there.
Hi, buddy. How y'all doing?
I think that's the family that got our Cracker Jacks.
They got all Brewers stuff on too.
Well, that's right. You know what? Rockies are treating them well. They're happy, even though their team's down 6 runs.
Sure they are. Summer vacation in the mountains. I'll catch a little baseball. Perfect.
Talking to a member of the security staff earlier at Coors Field, and they have next week off, and they're going on quite the road trip to the east. They'll see the Rockies take on the Mets at Citi Field, among 5 other venues. They're going to hit Philadelphia, Fenway Park in Boston, Camden Yards, where the Rockies will be later on in the summer. And get to Nationals Park. A lot of folks do that. A lot of great baseball fans want to catch every park, or a lot of great Rockies fans try to catch the Rockies each year at a road park or two. We'll see some familiar faces when we're out and about. 1-2 is the count on Blackmon. Charlie hits this ball well to right center field, but Gomez gets over and makes the catch. I'll bring up Arenado with 2 outs. Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do as they've done tonight, score 7, more for the Rockies Taco Special. Text the keyword taco to 720-720. When that does occur, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Nolan with a couple of hits tonight and a drive to the center field wall that was hauled in by Gomez. Chatwood getting with his catcher Rosario. Nolan has not had an extra base hit since June the 28th, almost a month, 77 at bats. But he's starting to square up more pitches of late, and I'm sure that is going to change very quickly.
You know what? A couple of soft hits in this game, big deal. That evens out the line drives. The drive to the wall on the warning track. I mean, those are the things. The balls have been hit hard. They just have not been able to find a hole yet. They will. 249 average for the young third baseman, but he's playing third base as good as any third baseman in baseball, not just the National League.
Nice play by Batenhop. He works a 1-2-3 seventh inning. We move on. We turn the page to inning number 8. Tyler Chatwood, all smiles he ought to be. He pitched wonderfully. 8. Frazier marched out. We're coming to you tonight from the Camarena Loft, man, and it's a whole lot of fun up here. For those folks, the evening just getting going. Come down to the Celtic Tavern this Sunday for a night at the Races fundraiser for the Youth Cancer Baseball Tour. The tour takes children with cancer and their families to Major League Baseball games around the country. The event begins at 5 p.m. and will feature a raffle, chances to win prizes, and much, much more. All donations benefit the 2013 Youth Cancer Baseball Tour. Again, that's a night at the Races fundraiser at Celtic Tavern this coming Sunday. Celtic Tavern, pardon me.
And a great thing about this inning right now is if you can get Corpus to come in and give you a couple of innings and really rest the rest of the bullpen. He did well the other day, 3 innings, pitched very well out of the bullpen.
Here's Manuel Corpus.
He's pitched in 22 and a third innings. A little over 4 on the ERA, the whip at 130. Accepted that role in the bullpen as long man in games like this, win or losing by a margin that should be able to protect it for a couple of innings for you.
Good pitch just inside on Ricky Weeks. Weeks doubled his last time up. The only extra base hit allowed by Tyler Chatwood, 2-1. Chatwood's final numbers on the evening: 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, did not walk anybody, struck out a career high 11, 106 pitches. And for Chatwood, it is now 12 of 14 games this year that he's allowed 2 earned runs or less. His ERA, he came in at 2.48, and it goes down once again. I have never seen this, George, as we approach August, where the Rockies had 3 starters with ERAs below 3.5. In fact, 2 are under 3 because De La Rosa went under 3 with his last outing. He's at 2.97. And Tyler's ERA, 2.48 coming in, stays right at 2.48. Ricky Weeks with a base hit. And that'll bring up Aoki. Watching Nolan Arenado moved a step or 2 closer to the bag at third. Aoki's gone in that direction a couple of times tonight.
Pretty much slaps at everything when he swings at it, so trying to be able to counter that a little bit.
He is similar in his approach to Ichiro, and then every once in a while, if you throw a ball in the inner half, he'll get the bat head out and he'll hit it out to right field. He did a few days ago at Miller Park. Got 5 home runs this year. It's a common approach in Japan. You almost never see it in the United States with boys, but in women's softball you will see that type of approach periodically.
I guess hands back, kind of sweep the bat, throw it at it. You know, because women's softball, what is it, 44 feet, 46 feet? They bring it.
Really bring it. 1-2.
72 miles an hour fastball from a girl at 46 is like 95 to 100 from a man at 60 feet 6 inches. Do you ever play fast pitch softball? That's fun.
Ken Miller and I played 1 year. Kenny, our executive producer. This goes back 20 some odd years ago. We were still playing summer baseball. We hooked up with a buddy of Kenny's on a team, and I'll tell you what, George.
You play a game in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, they play the game in an hour, and the ball literally rises. And when it is completely different because you're looking at a different spot that the ball comes out of. It is tough. If you hit like 280 in fast pitch softball in a good league, I mean, you're like hell.
Oh, you're really good.
This is bounced toward the middle of the diamond, and Troy with the good feet will get the force on Weeks. 1 out. That'll bring up Gene Segura, who's 1 for 3. And let's go underneath once again to our set in center field, and Mark Stout. Mark.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up Fan Friday with a photo that comes from Richard. He's in Nebraska. He's got a good problem. He's lost 38 pounds in 3 weeks. So as you can see, his Rockies lid, his hat doesn't fit him well anymore. He's got a Broncos 1 on the back, too. He's going to need a new one of those. So, hey, I say keep up the good work. And if you know him in Nebraska, get the guy a new Rocks hat. But thanks, everybody, for tweeting in. We'll do it again next Friday. We'll be on the road in Pittsburgh with another Fan Friday. So help our guy out. Yeah.
Mark, why don't you get his address, tweet him back, get his address, and send him some Root Sport gear.
Good idea. I'll get on that tweeting right now. I don't do Instagram, though. I don't really know how to answer that because it says leave a comment here, but I can tweet him back. So
you'll figure it out. You're one of those modern technology guys.
There he is, Richard. Root fan, Nebraska, so he's all good to go.
Atta baby.
We got him.
Hey, he's got an Instagram because isn't it? We're looking for folks from Nebraska this week. 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Gene Segura ends the 8th inning. Well done, Manuel Porpoise. Middle of inning number 8. Rockies 8, the Brewers 2. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Bases loaded. Tyler Chatwood at the plate in the second inning, and he bounces one just over the back down the third base line. That would score 2. Chatwood drove in his 6th and 7th runs of the season with that double. That's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Corpus getting a chance to swing the bat.
And he does every day in batting practice. He's one of those relievers that Walt has swing the bat. Belisle, another very good hitter, but not in that position. They don't put him in to swing it. Well, Manny is. Escalona gets in and swings at times.
0-2.
A lot of conversation and talk going on when this is happening in the batting cage with the pitchers. A lot of chatter, to say the least.
Well, this is his 13th plate appearance in the big leagues. He's 0 for 9. And he'll go to 0 for 10.
He gone.
So there's one out in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Rockies. Work Baden-Comber in his second inning of work. Dexter Fowler will come up for the 5th time. 0 for 2. Also a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. Crowd of 32,740 at Coors Field tonight. In the heart of the summer.
Nice.
And Dexter hits it hard but foul. Eight to 2, Rockies leading. That was a good move by you, the fan earlier.
Did you like that?
Yeah, when the sun was out.
Yeah, it feels good now too.
That was necessary. We had a great time once again up here at the Camarena Loft.
Always do.
And yeah, we've been up here several times. And the folks got to check on them. Hold on, that's the first. Behind us, spinning out a little bit as this game hopefully is in hand for the Rockies. It was packed most of the night. Great way to spend your evening. Go to Coors Field, change it up a little bit. If you're used to sitting in a certain spot, come up here and
absolutely
go to the Camarena Loft and eat and enjoy the ball game from a different perspective.
Yeah, you can even email or whatever that Instagram thing is or whatever to Mark, and maybe he might come by and say hi to you. You never know.
Mark, he's anchored tonight, but normally he
he's
makes
on
his
the
way
run
around
now.
the
That's
ballpark.
right. He's on the run all the time.
LeMahieu with 2 outs. DJ smoked the ball to right his last time up. Nice sliding catch to rob him of a hit by Aoki. Rockies have 8 runs on just 9 hits. Well, it's not how, it's how many tonight. And 8 is a good number. Rockies hit some balls in the right spots this evening. Colorado began the day 5.5 back. Actually 5 back, I should say, behind LA. Three and 2.
Well, just don't forget how you did this. It didn't have to be the long ball, just some timely hits, some breaks defensively. And when you got those breaks, you took advantage of it. I'll tell you what, the light's pretty downtown. We're looking out over that area, the left field line. All the different Offices lit up in different colors. The skyline downtown. It's a beautiful night at Coors Field. The Rockies are on top 8-2 as we go to the ninth.
Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram. Busy night in Lodo, and a whole lot of folks are gathered at Coors Field. They've enjoyed the proceedings thus far. Colorado 8, the Brewers 2, top of the ninth inning. And let's check in on our post-game set, our Toyota post-game set. Once again, here's Mark Stout.
All right, Drew, yes, here's what we have coming up. First, we're going to talk hit and miss about Tyler Chatwood and his Little League day. Chatwood, yes, at the plate, had a couple of hits, a big 2 RBI double, and of course on the hill, a lot of swings and misses. How about 11 Ks, a career high? Crazy eights. The Rockies score all of 8 runs in a 4-game series against the Miami Marlins. Then they put up 8 here tonight and come up with the win. Offense, pitching, everything coming together. That's what's coming up on the Toyota postgame show. We'll get you into the clubhouse as well, guys.
That sounds like a marvelous plan. On the hill, Corpus in his second inning of work to Carlos Gomez, looking for 3 more outs. 0-1 to Gomez. And Gomez hits it high and deep to left field and almost to the concourse. 8-3 for Gomez, his 17th home run of the year. Strong man.
Very strong, and as a manager right now, even though you have a 5-run lead, when your team struggled losing 3 out of 4 to Miami, you can't fool around with it. It's a get-ahead fastball. They got ahead a little quicker than what Manny wanted. That sounds familiar to a lot of people, and it did. A long ways, about 2 rows from getting on the concourse.
It's the 100th home run for the Brewers this year. They're tied for 5th in the National League in that department. Rockies are second. This will be the first out as Logan Schaefer's retired. 1 out. Martin Maldonado coming up. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. Tom Gorzolani is going to start against Colin McHugh. The numbers for the former Met McHugh with the Sky Sox in 3 outings. He's 1-0 at 3.18 ERA. And you got to love the fact that in that hitter-friendly PCL, the league's hit just .221 against McHugh, so he'll make the start in Drew Pomerantz's spot tomorrow against the lefty Tom Gorzolani.
That home run allowed by the Rockies, and remember the park you play in, all the criticism the park takes, the pitching staff that it takes nationally. 3rd fewest home runs allowed, 83. And that's in all of Major League Baseball.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that St. Louis was 63, Pittsburgh was 78, and Colorado 81.
How many people, and I'm not just talking about fans, how many people in the national media would be able to identify Colorado as one of the, and their staff as one of the toughest staffs on home run hitters? And Coors Field, 2 outs as Corpus strikes out Maldonado.
There went a little sidearm that time, dropped underneath and flipped that slider on the outer half of the plate.
A reminder, if you have any windshield damage, we know the folks to call. Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. Juan Francisco at the plate. Francisco up. This is Kindle. Gindle pinch hitting. Francisco came out the ball game. Caleb Gindle. Two-strike count on Gindle. And the 0-2. He's got him. Manuel Corpus strikes out Gindle and ends the baseball game, and the Rockies can shake hands. A comfortable victory, 8-3 in this first game against Milwaukee over the weekend. The winning pitcher, Tyler Chatwood, he improves to 7-3 on the season as he gives up just 2 runs in 7 innings, and he strikes out a career best 11. Taking the loss, Willie Peralta, who is exceptionally hot coming in. Been one of the top starting pitchers over the last month in baseball. The Rockies scored 8 times against Willie Peralta in 3 2/3. Time for our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. It's brought to you by Jimmy John's. Tyler Chatwood has been nails all season long since returning to the big leagues. He threw out a 2-run double offensively. And what he's paid most to do is throw the baseball, and he did that in spectacular fashion. 11 punch-outs. Earlier in the season, he had 10 punch-outs. He was dominant, 106 pitches in 7 innings. Tyler Chatwood with his 7th victory of the year. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Once again, the final score, the Rockies 8 and the Brewers 3. To Mark Stout and our Toyota postgame crew.
Cowboy and I were firing it up out here. Rockies get their 50th win of the season. Tyler Chatwood gets his 7th. And, of course, he was doing it at the plate and doing it, of course, on the hill. So we will get you ready to go here. The fans are coming in as we talk about this Rockies win. Finally, the offense breaking out. Toyota postgame show comes your way next.